battery bank isn't very charged, and I'm getting 40 watts in and it's taking 100 watts out to charge this bike. See how long that lasts. Basically what's happening or not happening is there's not enough power coming from the solar panel to support the charging of the battery and powering the e-bike charger. So you can see it quite clearly on here. You've got 58 watts coming in and 107 going out. So what's going to happen is this battery bank is just going to discharge. You can see it's already on 2%. So we either need a bigger panel or a better sun. We'll wait till the sun gets stronger on this panel at least. Welcome back guys, welcome back. I remember when solar systems like that, like the power bank and the little panel, you didn't used to be able to buy stuff like that. You had to DIY it. And a lot of my old videos, I was DIYing stuff all the time just because obviously this stuff wasn't available to buy. But the thing is, most of the time you can DIY better than you can buy. And that's what we're going to have a play around today. We're going to try and hook one of these power banks up to a bigger panel. E-bike solar charging. Solar panel into a power bank with a mains inverter and the e-bike charger plugged into it. See, so it's already hit 0 and it's not charging anymore. Right, we need the bigger panel and a bigger power bank. So the reason I was going to use this is because I was going to try hooking it up to a bigger panel, and this one can actually accept larger panels. It goes up to 60 volts on a panel, whereas this one will not. I think the maximum voltage this one can do is 24 volts. Now I've got a big panel and it's going to be like 40 to 60 volts easy, so it would blow this up if we tried it. So obviously I can't use that on a big panel. But what's interesting, this is getting nearly, well, it's getting over 80 watts now versus the other one was about 60. So I know the sun's improving obviously, but this one's got a little bit of power left in it. So we might actually be all right just with that as it is. Might not need a bigger panel. This is one of the panels I was thinking of using. Obviously look at that, it's perfectly in the sun, good angle. Right, so I've connected it up. I just need to feed those wires through there. Someone's interested. So this is a bit of a lash up guys, but basically, yeah, now that we've got 200 watts going in and 100 obviously going out, so that will just run until the sun goes down. Right, I soldered those connections in the end because that's going to be a bit sketchy using those terminal blocks long term. And yeah, now 250 watts going in. That's so cool. I don't know what the maximum this actually can take. Well, it's 10 amps, isn't it? 10 amps at 60 volts, which would be, surely not, 600 watts. No, it can't be 600 watts max. Oh, it's actually 500 watts input. That's pretty crazy. So we've got a lot of headroom. That should charge so quickly. So there's quite a lot of energy stored in this, but as I was saying to some friends, basically the equivalent amount of petrol would probably be that much. So that is the battle you've got. I mean, we're right at the early stages with the electric stuff, so it will evolve. But yeah, that is probably why there's no kind of proper electric sports cars yet, because battery tech is not at the energy density of fuel. And it's probably why most electric vehicles are big SUVs, because you need a lot of space to store the batteries. That's why little electric vehicles are just so cool, because, you know, it doesn't take a lot of energy to move something light. And, you know, inside there, that battery there is only half the size of probably what's in there, less than that. But, you know, it's enough to propel this around and do about 30 miles. And also it means it charges quicker as well. So you can take the benefit of charging from solar and everything else. Now, although this does work, it's not very efficient because we're going from solar panel voltage, about 40 to 50 volts or whatever, and then we're going into this device, which is then converting it to a voltage inside the battery, inside here, to charge the battery, and that's probably about, you know, 16 to 20 volts maybe, and then we're going back out to 230 in an inverter to charge, you know, so you can, for the convenience of plugging your charger for your e-bike in. So it's not an efficient way of doing it at all. What we really want to be doing is going directly from the solar panel into a charge controller and then out to the e-bike battery directly. So you're plugging it straight into the charge port of the e-bike battery. Why do you need a charge controller? Well, you need that because there's clever stuff like MPPT, which basically tracks the voltage of the panels and gives you the best kind of yield from the panels. Go and look at it, there's loads of videos about this sort of thing, but basically, yeah, you need that, and you need something to regulate it. Ideally you do need a small battery. It'd be good to have a small battery backup in there as well, so that it could potentially bridge any gaps where there isn't any sunlight, because obviously if the sun goes for a minute or goes behind a cloud, then you don't get any charge into your e-bike battery. Might not be a problem, you know, it might not be a problem, but yeah, basically there's more efficient ways of doing it, but it works, that's the point, and it's free energy. Right guys, I think the bike's charged. Here we go. It's green. Fantastic. I've just done a whole battery, basically just on power from the sun. Amazing. And this is still charging up there. So it's going up to the second bar. So by the end of the day, we'll see where that's got to. I left this one charging as well. See how that's doing. That's already on 17%. Make the most of this, get the other panel out as well. Charge my little power bank, which actually shows you what's going into it as well, which is pretty cool. 0.8 of an amp going in. Let's go use some of that free energy.